Brian has actually put in some amazing numbers, which is true. But also you've alluded to the fact of the feeling. For you to get the right answer to that question, and to be fair, I always tell people, if you want to do a good judgment in terms of fairness, you need to look at where I was or where we were versus where we are. So by looking into those two demographics, you understand the journey and how far we've come. You've just talked slightly about education. And when we were really talking to hustlers, we look at the data and we all agree, you know, Eric and myself have been into this many times, engaging into the same conversation. And one thing we'll agree was, when you looked at the data then and now, remove the feelings, there is actually some element of tangibility. What am I talking about? One, education, we realized 10%, ladies and gentlemen, 10% of all the vulnerable children were making it to colleges. 10%. That number is real and true. So what am I saying? Was our education system skewed? And you need to look at this. After secondary school, Eric, so many people in our informal settlement, up until masomo ilikuwa inaishia. Today you're talking something different. The feeling that you're talking about, and I'm glad my friend talked about unga, because that's what actually at one point got us out to the streets. Am I right? Yeah. Tuliva kofia. And this has happened, not only with us, it has happened from way back when, right? So what ended up happening? It was not just a stopgap measure, no. People sat down and crafted credible, deliberate actions. Where are we today? We have farmers, 6-point-something million farmers in our database who receive fertilizer because that's where we subsidized production instead of consumption. And you may remember, there was a time we said, we'll subsidize unga, and we managed to bring it to 100 shillings. It didn't last a month. Why? Because it wasn't tangible. Today, data speaks. We have 76 million, ladies and gentlemen, 76 million bags harvested of maize. It has never happened in the history of this country. That is data. What do we have? Right? It has never happened. Toka hapo. Subsidized fertilizer. Inafikia kila mtu. Before, do you know what was there? Brian can show you the facts. The middlemen were so many. So mimi na Eric tulikuwa tunanunua fertilizer because we know somebody and we resell it. All right? So we've gotten something right. You may not feel it now, but as time go by, if you now wedge that to the economy, where we were spending top dollars to import what? Maize. Reserves zetu zinafanya nini? Our exchange reserve. That's what happens. Because we were nearly heading to become a net importer. Am I right?
So I think, Gabriel, the question to you is to connect what Brian told us, which was the plan and the strategy being executed, into the Mwananchi. As a government spokesman, as a communication person. As a communication person. So now we have more maize, as you said. And that is something that you can talk about. We have more maize in our stores. We have more maize being produced, okay? Let's talk about...
You use the right word. We are feeding.
Has that contributed to the reduction in the cost of maize flour, maize meal, okay?
Definitely, Eric, definitely. See, my friend here, and I'm actually not using data from Brian. I'm using data from my good friend here.
You're using data from the ground.
Because it's true. 200 and something to now 160, and in other places, there was actually one of your TV stations, no, not yours, but there was another TV station that...
Is that the optimum price that unga should be when we have the most maize produced in this country in the history of Kenya?
And you know, the question probably you're asking, can we control maize price? We can't. But by producing more, that price, whether we like it or not, it will go down. In other places right now, you can get unga for 100 shillings. It was actually proved, that's why I was taking you. It was proven in one of the stations. They went around and indeed got unga, not these majorly branded ones, but you can actually get unga for 100 shillings or less.
Okay. Sharon went shopping a couple of weeks back, and we actually had it on this show. And she can tell you how much was it when you spent 1,000. It was 1,000 bob that you,
it was 1,000 bob.
Spent. And also somebody else spent the same 1,000 shillings. What was it in the basket?
I remember we got a small cooking oil, like I think 250 ml, one packet of unga, tea leaves. We couldn't get milk and sugar, and we got bread. By the way, there were literally those items, and 1,000 shillings was done. And this we did to show. Do you know how many people have 1,000 bob to shop every day, Gabriel, in Kenya? Not many, because against this is an ordinary average Kenyan who's probably paying, you know, getting a net of 20,000 sitting in their nini, and this is even a stretch for many. And you have to pay school fees, you have to pay rent, you have to pay, you know, survival. Actually, it's survival. There's no luxury.
Sharon, to just answer your question and then pass the mic. Inflation notwithstanding, we have to be alive to the facts that this is a trend, right? When you
it's a trend?
This will be the trend. I mean, inflation. The 500 shillings I had 10 years ago will not afford me, you know, those are just the facts. But
so
when
then
you look
is there a responsibility then to cushion Kenyans from this kind of shocks? Because surely we are talking about dignity, Gabriel.
Sharon, I think when I talked about securing our reserves to ensure that we are not becoming a net importer, that we are looking inwards. For instance, you've mentioned sugar. Do you know, for the first time, nearly in the history of this country, do you know the first time we've not imported sugar?
Really? How about the one that was caught?
Really? I've just said really, caught.
How about the...
You said something that was caught, an illegality. I'm just telling you a fact.
So we have not imported entirely?
We didn't import sugar.
Is Mumia's sugar function?
When you ask me, is it functioning?
I mean,
and the other day, we were looking at reviving all that particular sugar sector. And I think.
Okay, I hear you.
I think the question that we should be, you know, leaning towards is, where are we heading? Right. We are looking at being sustainable in a way that we do not import. And that is where we are heading. And we are heading in the right direction.
I hear you. I have a question. I was in the protest last year, and I mean, assured that I'm rendered to speak data, insights, and critical analysis. And I'm going to be very real with you right now. You've mentioned policies. I just want you to name me one policy that the government has done that has alleviated anything you have said. Just one. And then to Mr. Kiprono, I've talked about agriculture, housing, digital superhighway, SMEs. Kazi Maju actually struck a nerve on me because that's total brain drain. I think more work should be done, should be made here so that Kenyans stay home and build this country, but we're sending them out. Fine. Housing jobs, where we're saying we're creating jobs for people to go and build establishments, which means kazi ya mjengo. We have engineers, doctors, teachers, people graduating in millions every single year. I don't know if all of us are supposed to go build things. I have a question for you. I also want to understand on your perspective, those policies you've mentioned that are infrastructures, that create infrastructures where institutions are magnified, all that chain of thought, just one policy that has rendered the cotton and blue economy, agriculture downpour. Mind you, this is Kenya Kwanza government, meaning bottom up, meaning hustler, meaning all these things. Let's talk about those people you guys campaigned with. I want to know, is there any policy that has fully focused on elevating people from poverty to actually access these things, that has taken more kids to school, that has brought healthcare to the people, that has created sustainability for these hustlers we keep talking about?
Before I pass it on, healthcare to the people, I think we can come on that. But let me just pick one because you've asked a raft of many questions. Kazi Maju, you've called it. You've called it a brain drain.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
Today, if you look, I don't know whether you saw the headlines today. The fact remains that we have hit 5.6 billion US dollars in remittances. Now, let me ask a question. Would you call that brain drain?
Yeah, 100%, because
oh, really?
Still
wait a minute. Yeah. Really?
Remittances,
our cousins, no, wait a minute. Our family members. So what you're saying is our family members to come back here and work where? No. No equation in the world works like that. Right. Let me give you an example. Dubai today. Dubai, I'm giving you an example.
100%.
America is a great economy, right? Yeah? America is a great economy, correct?
Yeah.
How many pilots are flying for Emirates? American pilots. Are you telling me they cannot go and fly in America? No, let's be serious. Let's be serious. 400,000 Kenyans are in cities of the world. Listen, they are not looking for jobs. They are working.
Okay.
And remitting funds to this. I think.
So how about the Kenyans?
I think as we grow, we are going to. And guess what? This issue of job creation is something that is going to be with us for the longest. No. We must continue looking. I'm telling you. No. Then that's a good policy. Is it not a good policy? Kazi Maju is not a good policy. The one we are calling labor mobility is an amazing thing, and it's working.
The policy is labor mobility.